Hello everyone. Here are 5 tips to protect you and your clients in 2019. I have been practicing law for over 35 years, but it seems I learn something new every day. Laws change, and you need to be up to date in order to practice in a manner that protects both an agent as well as their clients. Here are 5 tips to assist you with what I hope will be a successful year in 2019. Number 1, get everything in writing. Whenever I assist a real estate agent with a claim made against them by a client, or perhaps from the Real Estate Council of Ontario, a common request is to see all the signed documents, especially written instructions from a buyer or a seller, whenever you are asked to make any changes on a listing, presentation of offers in a bidding war, or the agreement of purchase and sale. Do yourself a favor this year to always document all instructions you receive from a client, whether by a signed agreement, email, or text, to make sure there is always a written record of every action you are taking, especially when prior instructions are now being changed. Number 2, rent control is lifted on certain units in 2019. As a result of changes made on November 15, 2018, every new rental unit in Ontario created on or after November 15, 2018 will no longer be subject to rent controls. This means the landlord will be able to increase the rent more than the government permitted increase 12 months after the lease starts. So if you act for a tenant in one of these new units, you may want to consider adding a clause to the lease, making it clear that any future rent increase will be not more than a specific amount, say 3 to 5%, to protect your tenant. Number 3, non-resident sellers. If there is a non-resident seller, 25% of the purchase price must be held back until the seller satisfies all their obligations to pay income tax on closing. As a result, sometimes there are not sufficient funds available on closing to pay the mortgage and the real estate commission. This is one of the reasons to always do the FinTrack identification as soon as possible. By asking for a driver's license, you can usually determine right away that the seller will be here for closing. If your seller signing the agreement is out of the country, make sure you ask about residency as soon as possible to make sure that there will be no problems on closing. Number 4, be extra careful with assignments. I expect there to be more assignment deals this year, especially for buyers who purchased within the last 2 to 3 years and are now having difficulty closing. Make sure to make every assignment agreement conditional on lawyer approval, as there are HST and other issues relating to when the original deposits and the profit are to be made payable. Also, you need to be careful to make sure that your own real estate commission on any assignment agreement is paid as soon as the builder consents to the deal, or else you may have to wait, in some cases, an extra year before you get paid your commission. Number 5, get everyone to sign the buyer representation agreement. Too many times, I have seen situations where, for example, one spouse signs the buyer representation agreement because the other spouse is out of town, and then the other spouse or an adult child goes out and buys a property to try and avoid paying the agent their commission, or they buy in a company name to try and hide their identity. Make sure you always get everyone to sign your buyer representation agreement, even if it means going more than once to sign, especially if one of the spouses is out of town. If you have any questions related to any of the issues raised in this newsletter, or you wish to make use of our own mobile closing services this year, please contact me toll-free at 1-888-876-5529 or at mark@realestatelawyers.ca. Have a great year. Thank you.